Hey, welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani, and I'm really excited to show you guys the Guiro. This is a plastic Guiro. The originals come from gourds, and there are gourds that are grown that are longer like this shape. And typically they would have the gourd, they'd cut the stem off, hollow it out, and then seal the body with some sort of lacquer or varathane. And this is a plastic version. As you can see, he looks very surprised. And this one is by Tycoon. It's got several surfaces that I'm going to talk about in a minute, but most notably these kind of rubbery holes, which makes it easier to hold. You can put your fingers in them. I like to put my thumb on this one and hold it like this, or you can sort of grab it like that if you want. Lots of different ways you can hold this. So what you want to do to play the Guiro is hold it any way that's comfortable. And you're going to hold it on the opposite side of the playing surface. I'm going to play on this area. Typically a Guiro would probably have one serrated side. This one has 3 serrated areas. So we're going to, like I said, we'll hear about those in a minute. You're going to play the Guiro with a small stick. This is a wooden stick. It's a little bit thicker than chopsticks, a little bit thinner than a thin timbale stick, and about half the length of a timbale stick. But you can use a thick wooden chopstick, or you can chop down a timbale stick. Make sure you get the thin one if you do that, or you can get some wooden dowels and use those. All right, but this is a stick that comes with it. And what you're gonna do is, and I'm gonna show you guys the traditional Cuban, Caribbean technique. Now I know a lot of you, especially if you're music teachers, you were probably shown to hold it like this and hold it out flat like this and play it this way. And play that rhythm that we all associate with the Guiro, the long, short, short, long, short, short, long. Now, while there's nothing wrong with this would be the gringo way to play it, and that's okay. One thing that I think is a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging about this style is that every time you play the rhythm, you're alternating back and forth, you're changing directions. So in this case, I'm going away, towards, away, towards. So it might be difficult for children. It's not necessarily a technique that's lending itself to consistency. You have to learn how to play that both directions, which is okay too. That's another skill. But let me show you the traditional way that you would see the Guiro being played out in the, quote, real world. So you're gonna hold it like this, whatever's comfortable for you. And then we're gonna hold it vertically like this. And we're gonna play it in a percussive motion. So, I don't know if you guys have been following many of these videos, but I talk about the percussive stroke or the percussive action. And many of these instruments are played with the exact same action, whether it's a drum or maraca or claves or the Guiro, it's the same stroke. It's just this up and down stroke. So this is key, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for you to play the Guiro. So you're gonna hold the Guiro up, you're gonna stroke up and down this way instead of going in and out this way. Nobody plays like this really, nobody drums like this. So this is very natural, very common, and it's what we're already used to. If you're playing a drum, or if you've played Orff instruments, or even if you strummed a guitar, it's all the same up and down motion. Okay, so let's go with this kind of action. Just start off with that. I'm playing towards the tip of the stick. I'm not playing on the tip. I'm playing right below the tip on the side of the stick. So let's just start with this as our first step. And practice some short strokes. That one, I'm really not moving my arm. I'm just kind of moving my wrist, even turning my wrist and holding the stick. I'm holding the stick like this, like a regular drumstick. So we'll call those our short strokes, and then long strokes and up and down. Okay, and in a second, I'm going to show you guys the key to playing the traditional that rhythm. All right, so I'm going to pause really quick to invite you who are not members of World Drum Club to join World Drum Club at patreon.com. This is a member-supported channel. It's not mandatory that you pay, but the implied agreement is that if you're watching these and you get some value out of them and you enjoy them, which I hope you do, that you become a member and support this channel. All right, so let's get on with our lesson. You've got holding the Guiro, you've got the up and down stroke, the short stroke, and the longer strokes. Now we're going to combine a couple strokes and we're going to get to that really cool rhythm that you guys know. All right, so listen and watch, and then I'll break it down for you guys. Let's put a metronome on at 90. All right, so there's one little trick to this, and it's kind of fun. It's not that hard. It takes a little bit of practice to get, but once you get it, you've got it, all right? And then you can play the Guiro like a pro for the rest of your life, which is something I know we all aspire to do. All right, so let's look at the first action. The first action is a quick down and a slow drag up. So it's like one sound, but it's two actions. So there's an attack, very quick. I'm even hitting kind of towards the bottom. It's just to get that initial attack sound like that. That could be your first move, down at the bottom. And then a slow drag up. So this is the first beat, 1, 1. And then 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Or if you prefer to count it, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. So the rest of it is simple. Down, up, short strokes. So we've got 1, 2 and. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. All right, so let's go to 110 and hear what that sounds like. All right, so are we feeling it? Are you feeling it? You feeling the Guiro, the power of the Guiro? All right, so I hope this helps you guys. I really enjoy playing the Guiro. I think if you can learn this simple technique, give it, an hour, which is not much time really if you think about it. Give it a total hour. So maybe you pick it up for 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a time, 2 or 3 times, you're gonna be playing it really well. And then you don't have to do this kind of slightly weird back and forth, alternating Guiro action. And you can show this to your students and clients. If you've got younger students, they can absolutely do this. I believe that students should be given a chance to learn how to play instruments the same way adults play them, professionals play them. There doesn't have to be separate children techniques and then adult or professional techniques. If a child can learn it, they will learn it. If they need an intermediate or intermediary technique to bridge the gap between not playing it at all and playing it in the traditional way, that's fine too. But let's try to move our students towards the the typical ways that these instruments are played. All right, so moving on, I'm going to show you guys some cool techniques and effects that you can use and play on the Guiro that are pretty fun and I think will be useful for sound effects and things like that. So here's one of the things I discovered about this Guiro is that it's got several different size serrated areas. So we've got a big chunky one down here, and I kind of like to do this technique where I took the stick like this, and I'm kind of going like this. This is like my frog, you know, imitation. Instead of having the frog rasper, you can do the same effect here. So you can do the same thing, or maybe a little bit different up here. And I want to show you something really cool. If you move the stick in and out this way, you get different pitch effects. So let's think about how you can use the Guiro to create sort of a frog swamp. And you could have 3 people or 4 people playing the same Guiro, which I think would be really fun. If you've got some students, they can share it. Maybe one person holds it, or 2 people can hold it, and you can have different effects. So I'm gonna build this up. If this works, it'll be awesome. I'm gonna put these videos together and we'll hear what it sounds like. All right, so this is your frog swamp via the Guiro submarine in the swamp effect. All right, that wraps it up for the Guiro lesson in this installment of World Drum Club. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. World Drum Club members, you guys can see me over at patreon.com and get more of these videos, and you can ask me questions, and we have our discussion area over there so I can address your needs. All right, thanks for being a member. I'll see you guys in a future video.